Right then folk, welcome back to another video beer review today. I've got another beer out of this little, don't even know what I'm going to call this series. We have Brewdog. It's been a very long time since I last bought a supermarket Brewdog. It is Elvis juice. Now, I thought I'd give it a go again after watching Simon. I didn't actually watch it by that point, I had watched it today. Real Old Craft Beers review of American Elvis juice, and check out this review because it's gonna look it looks very different to what this is gonna look like. I remember the first time I had this, back in 330ml can, about 2015 I want to say it was, maybe 2016, and put it this way, Magic Rock Salty Kiss had just come out, and this was like a day old. It was kind of, on that time that when I had it, and I think we all really enjoyed it, and I remember drinking quite a lot of Elvis juice at the time as well. But for one reason or another, it fell out of favour with myself, and I think it was because it just went shit. Like a lot of Brewdog beers. I mean, I'd like to give a go of Punk again, but for some reason there's no Punk. You can only buy Punk in a 4-pack, which I don't really want to do. I just want to have one can and just try and remind myself of what it tastes like now, because it's the same as like Neck Oil and those sort of things. They're not what they were at all. I remember like 6.2 Punk back when I first got into beers, but and Brewdog as well. But yeah, we'll see what this is like. I just know the way that a lot of other Brewdog beers went, with shit tons of adjuncts and stuff, and they just taste shit, a lot of them do. But yeah, we'll see what this one is like. Anyway, Brewdog Elvis Juice, Brewed in Ellen, grapefruit infused IPA. I think it's always been 6.5. I think they might have tried dropping it down, didn't they? Did they fuck around with the ABV and put it back up again? I don't know. I think they did. I seem to think they did. They dropped it down to like 5 point something, and fucking people kicked off. It went back up 6.5. So, 440ml can says ingredients. I'm trying to find it. Water, malted barley, yeast, hops, grapefruit, and orange flavouring. So I don't think it was flavouring the first time. I'm pretty sure it was like peel. But yeah, we'll crack it open and see. I'll check the rest before. Once I've poured some of it out, but yeah, that is a completely different colour to what the US one looks like. US one was much hazier than this for a start. Well, sorry, not much hazier, much more appealing haze to it than what this is. I seem to remember this being fucking crystal clear in the past. Maybe they just don't give a shit nowadays. Best before 4th of December 2025, so plenty of time on it. I don't know if that Tesco, if they get through stock pretty well. Like, I always remember when I have bought Faith in there, which was obviously the previous one beer I did. I remember it was always mega fresh in there. So they might not keep a hold of a lot of stock, but it seems to be relatively fresh. Yeah, that smells... That smells mega synthetic, but it doesn't smell terrible. But it does smell, really synthetic grapefruit. God, this takes me back. This sort of type of beer and this sort of nose in a beer takes me back to Innocent Gun did some ones like this with using extracts. I'm pretty sure I know where they get this extract from. And I think it's Claremont, who I've bought some orange flavouring from them in the past, and it was, smelled intense, very intense. I bought it without, I think I was given a sample size, and then we kind of just went ahead and bought 5 litres. So that's the smallest size. It's a bit, if Claremont were to ever see this, please do 1 litre batches for smaller breweries, because it's taken me 2 years to get through like 2 litres of stuff. But yeah. Anyway, let's dive in on the actual taste. You're just getting tons and tons of grapefruit on the nose with a bit of a bready maltiness behind. We'll dive in. Cheers. Yeah, that synthetic, it might well be a natural flavouring, but it tastes really synthetic. That synthetic kind of grapefruit flavouring dominates, absolutely dominates, and almost provides like a little bit of a lacquer across your palate. Yeah. Well, it is just grapefruit, isn't it? But what do they say on it? Grapefruit and orange. Grapefruit infused IPA. I think that's what I'm remembering, that kind of Seville orange flavour that you can get in this Claremont type, and that's what I'm really getting. You tend to get like a little touch of the bitterness and that slight lacquer note of it as well. The grapefruit is okay, but again, heavily synthetic. It's around a time of Ballast Point, Sculpin, and they did a grapefruit one as well. This beer kind of came out around that sort of time, and it probably shows a little bit where craft beer was maybe 10 years ago, and with the fact we haven't, we've come along leaps and bounds, but I'd say it's just juice game now. You wouldn't get away with brewing this really. I think this is the sort of beer that would, nowadays, you'd see trad breweries do, and it just fucking fall by the wayside massively. Only probably sells because it's got a bit of a punch of ABV, and yeah, I probably wouldn't drink it again. I like it's almost got a novelty factor, like a nostalgic factor, because having that kind of intense grapefruit flavour, but it's not something I'd want to session. It's not something I'd want to drink very often. It's not something I'd want to drink, large amounts of, because it's just all a bit meh. It's all a bit synthetic. But nice to give a go again and kind of take myself down memory lane as such. But yeah, not the same as what it used to, at least from what I can remember. And yeah, like I say, I just don't think you'd get away with brewing this sort of thing nowadays. Anyway, see you next one. Cheers.